Good afternoon. No surprise, football has been hit by the weather, but plenty of games are on. The final score will chart the closing stages of all those matches underway. Two results already in. Manchester City 1, Middlesbrough 0. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. That was the final score in a Sheffield derby. More details on both games to come. Having cleared the snow from their Mansion House estates, Steve Claridge, Martin Keown and Garth Crooks are watching the Barclays Premier League game still in progress. And here's the latest news on those matches. Premier League leaders Manchester United play tomorrow at West Ham. Liverpool kick off away at Portsmouth at 5:30. Chelsea were third at 3 o'clock. Aston Villa were fourth, unbeaten in 13 matches. They're playing away at Blackburn. Richard Askham reporting.
Blackburn Rovers 0, Aston Villa 1. Aston Villa with the more cultured football. Blackburn dogged and determined, but with Gareth Barry and Stilian Petrov outstanding, they found it hard to shackle the visitors' classy midfield. The introduction of El Hadj Diouf after the break has given Rovers a more direct threat, but so far, without creating too much in the box, it's Villa who've showed a cutting edge. James Milner a threat throughout, their first half goal scorer with a curling left-foot shot.
Well, Chelsea knew if they beat Hull this afternoon, they'd move to within 2 points of Barclays Premier League leaders Manchester United. They don't play till tomorrow. Roger Johnson watching the game being played at Stamford Bridge.
Where it's still Chelsea 0, Hull City 0. Hull's first visit to Stamford Bridge in 2 decades, Ray, and they've frustrated Chelsea, who've had the best of the possession. Terry missed inexplicably from 3 yards early on. Duke denied Quaresma on his debut, but Hull have threatened themselves. Marnie and Fagan have both had good chances since half-time. Drogba's on from the bench, Belletti and Deco too, but the home fans are growing restless. You don't know what they're doing, some chanted at Scolari. Well, he better come up with something soon. It's Chelsea 0, Hull City 0.
Chelsea under pressure, their fans frustrated after their massive FA Cup success against Liverpool. Sixth place Everton hoping to take Premier League points from a home game with Bolton. Damian Johnson's at Goodison Park.
Everton 2, Bolton 0. No signs of an FA Cup hangover here for Everton. They lead thanks to the game's 2 most impressive players, Mikel Arteta and on-loan Brazilian striker Joe. Arteta dispatched a first-half penalty after Joe was upended by Andy O'Brien. Joe controlled beautifully before firing past Jääskeläinen. This is Everton debut on loan from Manchester City, of course, and is enjoying a new lease of life. Everton lead.
And looking impressive. The sequence of results carrying them to 7th in the table has been fantastic for Wigan. And fans of the day's opponents, Fulham, will be happy if their team stays in the region of the 9th place they arrived in. Andrew James reporting.
That's right, Ray, but actually it's frustration for both sides. Wigan haven't been able to play their normal game, and Fulham have looked more than capable of scoring and winning this match. They had 3 good first-half chances. Steve Bruce, in fact, made 3 changes before half-time to his Wigan side. Only one of those definitely through injury, and Fulham still looking likely to score a goal in the second half. It's Wigan 0, Fulham 0.
To the Hawthorns now, where bottom of the table West Bromwich Albion are playing another club with relegation fears, Newcastle United. No win in 6 for Newcastle going into this match, and best wishes go to manager Joe Kinnear, who was taken to hospital this morning as a precaution. Ivan Gaskell reporting.
And this news won't cheer him up. West Brom 2 now, Newcastle 3. As you come to me, a goal pulled back by Marc-Antoine Fortuné, I believe, for West Brom, who've had a very bad day at the office, conceding 3 schoolboy goals before half-time. 2-1 down inside 9 minutes. Defending only notable in the first half by its absence. Duff, Lovenkrands and Taylor cashing in. Fortuné with an early goal for West Brom. And Joe Kinnear, as you say, underwent a scan a couple of hours ago. He'll be visited by the rest of the Newcastle party at the end of this game at the West Midlands hospital in which he's staying. But at the moment, Newcastle hanging on for what would be only their 2nd away league win in 16 attempts. It's West Brom 2, Newcastle 3.
And best wishes go to Joe Kinnear. News on the Sunderland-Stoke game now. Stoke arrive with a waveform of 3 points from 36 played for. Steve Sutton reporting.
Well, it's 0-0, Ray, but the only thing we haven't had is a goal because Stoke are down to 10 men in this second half. Matthew Etherington seeing red after he retaliated on Danny Collins. Danny Collins got a yellow for that. Just after that, though, Camara blazed over from 2 yards. That could have given Stoke the lead. Stoke's Ricardo Fuller is on his way to a local hospital. He's got a fractured shoulder and a dislocated shoulder, a suspected fracture as well. All happening, but no goals.
Stoke only a point away from the relegation places. If West Bromwich Albion can get a point, the situation as far as the bottom of the table is concerned can change dramatically. Portsmouth-Liverpool is a 5:30 kick-off. Premier League leaders Manchester United play away at West Ham tomorrow. Also tomorrow, a North London derby between Tottenham and Arsenal at White Hart Lane. Here's more details on the Manchester City-Middlesbrough match that's already over. Final whistle went 2 hours ago. And David Garrido reporting.
Manchester City 1, Middlesbrough 0, and this was all about two of City's transfer window signings. Craig Bellamy, a constant threat all game, scoring the winner with a rifled left-footed shot after getting past Emmanuel Pogatetz. But surely City wouldn't have won this game had it not been for Shay Given, a dream debut, denying Afonso Alves 4 times, including one excellent reflex save before the break. City were comfortable in the end, but things are not looking good for Borough. As well as losing Chris Riggott to injury, Gareth Southgate's winless streak is extended to 13 games in the Premier League. The alarm bells must be deafening. Final score, Man City 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Goals being scored in the Championship. Swansea 2, Ipswich 0. Swansea unbeaten in 12. League leaders Wolves took a 7-point cushion on an automatic promotion place to Coventry. Steve Lee watching the game at the Ricoh Arena.
Oh, it's Coventry 1, Wolves 1. Coventry almost grabbed a goal there, but Wolves have an equaliser. It came from substitute Sam Vokes from Michael Kitely's corner. Wolves have been threatening the second half. There must have been a real rocket from manager Mick McCarthy on his 50th birthday at half-time. It was 1-1 now for the score, with Sam Vokes getting the equaliser.
Second place, Reading are tough to beat. They've avoided defeat in 11 of the last 12 games. Mark Bishop will tell us how they're performing against playoff contenders Preston North End.
Still Reading 0, Preston North End 0. Steve Coppell's side, they've stuttered through this poor game, Ray, lacking any real cutting edge against a resolute Preston side. Noel Hunt has just come off the bench to join his brother Stephen, still waiting for that first goal.
Top 3 all being held, it seems, because at St Andrews. Third place, Birmingham are playing Cup Kings Burnley. Nick Parrott reporting.
Yes, it's still 1-1 here. Martin Patterson put Burnley ahead after just 3 minutes, but Kevin Phillips equalised not long before half-time. Birmingham are on top in the second half. 3 fine saves from Burnley keeper Brian Jensen, including a great save from a Sebastian Larsson free kick. It's Birmingham who look more likely to get a winner, though. They've brought on an extra striker in Honduran Carlos Costley, who's making his debut. It's Birmingham 1, Burnley 1.
Quite an afternoon, would you agree? Yet again, Aston Villa are looking the part.
They are looking the part, and I think at this moment in time, if you're going to put money on who's going to finish 4th in the Premier League, money's on Villa, and Arsenal need to be very, very concerned. You've got to take these very seriously, that 4th spot now.
Martin, what about Chelsea this afternoon? What's your assessment of their performance? Well, if they drop points at home to Hull and the crowd are chanting, you don't know what you're doing.
Well, it's almost déjà vu. Here we were last time out, Stoke, their last home match, and they were behind in that game. They came back, did it all in the last few minutes, and they're just passing the ball on the edge of the box. Lovely football, the ball retention's fantastic, but they've got nothing in the final third. It seems to be a lack of width. Often Anelka is coming deep, Drogba is now on the pitch, and they just can't get Lampard into the game.
Steve, is a fair comment? They don't know what they're doing at Stamford Bridge?
Well, I mean, you've got to say, they started fantastically well. Could have been 3 up in 10 minutes. Haven't had that bit of luck. Andy Dawson's just stonewall penalty that they've been denied. They haven't had that cutting edge at home. And you've got to say, we're talking about Aston Villa getting 4th. I mean, they go above Chelsea if they win this one, if it stays the same. So we're about 4th. We could even be nicking a 3rd spot here.
Goal in the Coventry Wolves game in the Championship. Steve Lee reporting.
It's now Coventry 2, Wolves 1, 2 goals in the last 3 minutes. Sam Vokes with an equaliser from Wolves from Kitely's corner, and then a couple of minutes later, Leon Mackenzie at the other end, a through ball, and he beat keeper Wayne Hennessy. Remarkable scenes here. Coventry 2, Wolves 1.
Wolves have won 1 of 7, could be a setback for them. West Brom Newcastle this afternoon, Steve. Joe Kinnear taken to hospital as a precaution, we understand. We wish him well. How has his team performed?
His team have done OK. I mean, they've contributed, as of West Brom, to a lot of the good play from the opposition. But I say they haven't defended great, but there's a stubbornness about them. There's 1 or 2 players that they're getting back. All of a sudden they're scoring goals, which they need to do at Newcastle, because invariably they will concede goals. And they've just been... The game has been played. They've just made less mistakes than the opposition, and that's why they're ahead in this game.
But West Brom, I have to say, are the product of their own downfall. From the first moment, their defensive play was appalling, and it was mistake after mistake.
All 3 goals, Garth.
3 goals.
All 3 goals.
And they were a product of their own making.
There is time for the situation to change. Newcastle went there, they'd won 1 of the last 15 away, 2 points from 18, looking for their first win in 7. If they let this slip, their confidence will take another knock as well.
And it's all about confidence. As soon as they went 3-1 up, they're all playing lovely football. All of a sudden now it's gone a bit rocky again. But I think they've got enough to see this through. West Brom really a little bit lacking in quality for me today.
Stoke had to make 3 substitutions in the first 30 minutes, Garth, but they're hanging on in Sunderland. Are they worth their point?
They're not might be worth a point because Kenwyn Jones looked like he scored a perfectly good goal, and I think they've probably given it. We better go there.
Let's see what's happened to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland against Stoke. Steve Sutton.
Well, yes, Ray, it's Sunderland 1, Stoke City 0. Stoke 10-man Stoke, remember. They finally cracked. The ball came across to the far post. Kenwyn Jones got a header in ahead of everybody else. It crept in inside the post. Sunderland 1, Stoke City 0.
There's absolutely no question it was a goal, Garth.
Yeah, it's a goal, and he stopped. He looked at the linesman to check what he's on. But I've got to say, it's a mistake by the goalkeeper.
Sorensen has made a mistake.
It's a mistake. I don't know what he's thinking of. He's caught. He almost grabs the post when he should be grabbing the ball.
What happens as he heads it down? I mean, Sorensen's not behind it, is he, Garth? So he tries to pat the ball, and he actually misses the ball. It goes. I think what you've got to say there is that Kenwyn Jones has made that out of nothing because he's just bigger and he's stronger than the defender.
Great centre-forward position. Goes,
fantastic.
Moves to the back post.
You can see everything.
Yeah, sees everything. Puts it back.
It's a scrappy game. No more they deserve. They had one definite goal. Should have been a penalty, sorry. Pugh handling on the line in the first half. Quite unbelievable how the officials missed that. You'll see that tonight. So for me, I think they deserve to be in front.
That'll be 7 out of 9 for Sunderland. They're putting a little buffer between themselves and the relegation places.
I mean, they're getting the results. You know, since Roy's gone, they're getting the results. Not playing very good football.
Just one other important point in that game. Everything gets sent off for violent conduct. How can Stoke afford for players to lose their cool? They're fighting for their lives. It's about discipline. That's what it is. He's retaliated. You know, and now they're down to 10 men, and yet again, it's the second time it's happened to my recollection, where they've gone down to 10 men, and it looks like they're going to lose the game.
Fourth time in 5 games they've had a player sent off Stoke. You can't
afford
to do that.
Can't afford that.
To Scotland now, 5th round ties in the Scottish Cup centre stage. 5th round is the round of 16. Premier League Celtic versus 2nd Division Queen's Park now. Ian Turner reporting.
Well, it's going to be a nervy last 5 minutes for Celtic. They still lead Queen's Park by 2-1. Scott McDonald and Gary Caldwell with headers had Celtic in front at half-time, but Queen's Park came storming back. Adam Coakley, who has since been sent off, managed to get one back for Queen's Park, and Queen's Park still in the attack. They have a corner now. It's not all over. It could be a sensational result for the time being. Celtic 2, Queen's Park 1.
2nd Division Queen's Park, are they going to pull off one of the shocks of the season? News now on an all-SPL tie between Hearts and Falkirk from Brian McLaughlin.
It's Hearts 0, Falkirk 1. Steve Lovell with a controversial goal on the hour mark. Falkirk striker, he looked yards offside when Hearts he headed home. They stayed down, the flag stayed down and the goal was given. 2 minutes later, they thought they had a penalty, only for a referee to change his mind and award a corner kick instead. Hearts also now down to 10 men. Zaliuk is sent off for an attack on Finnegan as he bore down and goal. And it's drama here at Tynecastle. 4 minutes left for play. It's Hearts 0, Falkirk 1.
Wrexham unbeaten in 9 in all competitions, playing a Blue Square Premier League match away at Lewis, who have lost the last 8, and it's going to form Wes Baines with 7 minutes to go. Looks like he's secured another victory for Wrexham. Lewis 0, Wrexham 2. In the Championship so far this afternoon, here's the story of the game played at lunchtime, a Sheffield derby, United versus Wednesday. Peter Slater at Bramall Lane.
A little piece of Sheffield history made. Wednesday's first win at Bramall Lane since 1967 and their first Steel City double since before the Great War, 95 years ago. Tommy Spur gave them the ideal start with a goal from Michael Gray's cross after just 49 seconds. And although Arturo Lupoli equalised 4 minutes later, Marcus Tudgay put them back in front with a 25-yard volley just before the half hour. Leon Clark could have made it 3. His shot came back off the post. But Wednesday hung on for a famous Sheffield victory.
First double over United for 95 years. Matches in progress. The leaders Wolves away at Coventry. Steve Lee with a progress report.
Well, it's still Coventry 1, Coventry 2 rather, Wolves 1. Coventry coming back into the game after the Wolves equaliser. Sam Vokes equalising Michael Doyle's first half goal, a header from Vokes from Knightley's corner, and then Leon McKenzie 3 minutes later running onto a through ball made it 2-1. Coventry hanging on to that lead in front of 21,000 here. Coventry 2, Wolves 1.
After 10 wins out of 12, Wolves are now 1 out of 7 as far as victories are concerned, struggling this afternoon on manager Mick McCarthy's 50th birthday. Let's hear about second place Reading at home to Preston. Mark Bishop.
It's Reading 0, Preston North End 0, Ray. John Parkin should have given the visitors all 3 points just 3 minutes ago. Great ball in from McKenna. 10 yards out Parkin was. He ballooned the ball over the crossbar. Preston, they've been a good side second half. They've had chances though of Reading. Lonergan has made 2 good saves to deny Kebby and Lita, and then Reading thought they had a penalty when Mulwina handled Kebby's effort. Nothing doing, said referee Michael Jones. 0-0.
And that's second versus sixth. Third against eighth. Birmingham against Burnley. Nick Parrott at St Andrews.
It's still 1-1 here. Lee Bowyer should have put Birmingham ahead, but his header was saved at point-blank range by Brian Jensen. And just now, Steve Thompson did the same at the other end. Birmingham have got a corner and they're pushing for a winner. It's 1-1.
Queen's Park Rangers hoping to move towards the playoff places. They've never ever won in Nottingham Forest. Alan Biggs reporting.
It's Nottingham Forest 2, QPR 2, a real feisty physical game. Rangers bid for that first ever win here, fired by Matteo Alberti's first goals for the club, coming either side of half-time after he had conceded a penalty at the other end for Lewis McGugan to put Forest in front. Alberti's second goal, top draw. Rangers deserved the lead for dominating, but pegged back since by a soaring far post header from Chris Cohen. Forest 2, QPR 2.
Swansea and Ipswich both targeting a playoff place. Swansea unbeaten in 12, Ipswich unbeaten in 5. Gareth Williams reporting.
Well, they've just joined me at a great time because it's now Swansea City 3, Ray, Ipswich Town 0. Jody Gomez with a fantastic free kick. That's the third goal of the afternoon. Striker Jason Scotland over the Swansea hero. He struck early after a great run from Albert Saran. He crossed from the right and Scotland rifled past Richard Wright. His second goal came after he used his strength in the box. He turned and fired into the bottom left-hand corner. Ipswich have had their moments with David Norris and Tommy Miller. They've gone close for the visitors, but Jody Gomez has now secured the 3 points for the home side. Swansea City 3, Ipswich Town 0.
A fourth successive win maybe could take Bristol City nearer the playoff places. They're away at Norwich. Andy Barwell.
At the moment it's Norwich 1, Bristol City 2. The game was pretty even. A Cole Skewes goal for Bristol City cancelled out by Jonathan Ground's equaliser for Norwich, but referee Andy Durso is not Mr Popular in these parts. Norwich skipper Gary Docherty sent off just before half-time. Bradley Orr blasted it home from the penalty spot. Bristol City still lead 2-1.
Another goal in the Blackburn-Aston Villa match at Ewood Park. Which way has it gone? Richard Askham will tell us.
It's all over here, Ray. Blackburn Rovers 0, Aston Villa 2. The large travelling support to my right-hand side are going absolutely crazy. Agbon Lahore found himself free in the box, set free there. The Blackburn defence didn't react quickly enough, and he smashed it, possibly with a deflection, past Paul Robinson in the Blackburn goal. It's Blackburn 0, Villa 2.
Aston Villa's best run in the top flight for 111 years. Well, we're talking about them getting a Champions League place. Who's going to say they're not going to catch the leaders eventually? They're flying of late, Garth.
Not only are they flying, but I think now you look towards the next game because they play, as I believe, I think they play Chelsea the next game at Villa Park. What a fixture that's going to be. Puts them on, I think, 51 points. Same on points with Liverpool. This is really serious. I've already made the point about Arsenal playing Spurs. The way it's going, they could be out of the top 4.
What is it that impresses you so much about Aston Villa, Martin, when you watch the way they're going about these
There's been a
games?
period of 10 minutes there where they've come under the cosh from Blackburn. I mean, Blackburn, this is the first game they'll lose under Sam Allardyce. In good form, they play that power game, put you under pressure. They're able to absorb all of that on the break. This time the goal has come from good closing down, Blackburn trying to play out from the back, and Agbon Lahore with all that pace and energy, and he's hit the back of the net. They've really got a look about them of hunger in the team. They're looking at their bench, they've got options on the bench. You know, they look very strong and they look good to go perhaps for third place even.
What a good decision to try to keep Barry at the club and not let him go. He wanted Champions League football. Martin O'Neill looks like he's going to be true to his promise and give it to him.
Steve, are Chelsea going to get out of trouble again by snatching a goal at Stamford Bridge?
Well, it looks like they're running out of ideas, Ray. As the game's gone on, I mean, Hull have come back into it, you know, and you wouldn't rule out Hull getting something on the break. It's been one of those typically frustrating times for Chelsea yet again at home.
Well, how Chelsea need a goal, but also how Hull City need another point this afternoon as well, given their situation. Blackpool against Doncaster in the Championship. James Mason at Bloomfield Road.
Blackpool 2, Doncaster 3, Ray. It's been a superb game. Donny just about holding on, and they've shown great spirit to come back from an early Blackpool goal. And the home side, a sour note down to 10 men. Charlie Adams sent off for stamping on Richie Wellens, apparently. So late stages, Blackpool 2, Doncaster 3.
Plymouth are having a torrid time of late. Hamish Marshall's at Home Park.
The trailing Derby by 3-0. We're deep in stoppage time. The Old Clough magic seems to be working for Derby. 3 goals in 10 minutes either side of half-time have given them surely a third win in a week. Gary Teal with a 25-yard effort and 2 close-range efforts from Rob Hulse. Derby heading out of danger. Plymouth going deeper into it.
Remember, they left it late, didn't they, last time round? Are Chelsea going to snatch victory at home to Hull? Roger Johnson.
No, the final whistle goes as you come to me, Ray. It's finished Chelsea 0, Hull City 0. The league's highest scorers thwarted by its leakiest defence. A result which will be celebrated as much in Manchester and Liverpool as on Humberside. Chelsea could have had this wrapped up by half-time. Terry missed from 3 yards. Duke saved brilliantly from Quaresma. But Hull were disciplined and resolute. Marnie and Fagan both went close for them after half-time. Ashby had a good chance near the death, whilst Chelsea were denied what appeared to be a penalty for handball. The chants of "you don't know what you're doing," though, were aimed not at the referee, but at the Chelsea boss Scolari. Hull's first goalless draw in the league since 2007, but a hammer blow to Chelsea's title challenge. It's finished 0-0.
Yeah, let's go to Goodison Park immediately. A penalty, Damien Johnson.
It's a penalty to Everton. Joe will take it. It was a handball from Mark Davis from a Gosling cross. Joe's been the outstanding performer this afternoon. He's already scored one, and he scored another. Low past Jääskeläinen, low to Jääskeläinen's left-hand side, and Joe has his second, Everton their third. It's Everton 3, Bolton 0.
Joe impressive, Everton impressive, rubber stamping their position 6th in the table. Blackburn against Aston Villa. Final whistle's gone, I think. Richard Askham.
Yes, it has, Ray. Blackburn Rovers 0, Aston Villa 2. Not only the best away record in the league, it's now a club record 7 wins in a row on the road for Villa and 13 successive Premier League matches without defeat, the first time they've achieved that. The away side played the more imaginative and incisive football throughout, taking the lead through a James Milner curler in the first half. They could have added to their tally before Gabby Agbonlahor found himself free in the box and smashed a shot past Paul Robinson late on. Santa Cruz did make a difference for Rovers when he came on, but Villa are on a roll and ran out worthy winners.
Chelsea looks shell-shocked at Stamford Bridge, Garth.
I think they're entitled to be. Two very interesting things have happened today. But one, the fans seem to be turning on the manager. I think Roger Johnson made it absolutely correct. The fans shouting about the manager doesn't know what he's doing when Drogba came off and Quaresma, who made his debut today, was brought off. And secondly, there was a free kick in the D moments before the final whistle, 2-3 minutes before the final whistle. And if Drogba, Lampard, and possibly Ballack, I'm not quite sure what Ballack was on the pitch at the time,
no, he wasn't.
Lampard or Ballack, of Drogba, who would you think would take the free kick? Lampard. Drogba takes it and misses by a mile. Something's going on there. I can't put my finger on it, but there's some disharmony there that doesn't feel right.
When he took the free kick, it looked like he didn't almost care that he'd missed it.
Yes, he did, yeah, absolutely.
That was the impression
Just couldn't be bothered.
I got
You want
from
to take it, you take it.
Yeah. He's very static, isn't he? He's up there and, there's no movement from him. And it's very hopeful. We don't expect to see this from Chelsea, just putting long balls into the box.
Other side of the coin, everything about Aston Villa looks sharp, they're on the front foot.
Absolutely.
Even when they need to get a goal and the opposition are making it difficult for them, they seem to have that extra gear.
Up until games in recent weeks, it's been very, very close with Aston Villa. They've won games by the odd goal. And in games where it's been in the balance, it's always seemed to go on their way. Today it was probably one of the better performances. Yeah. And I, more than any stage of this season, are convinced that they can get Champions League after a performance like that, because they were excellent.
Yeah. Everton go from strength to strength, it appears. FA Cup win at home to Liverpool in midweek. 3 more points in the Premier League this afternoon. Damien Johnson.
Yes, Everton 3, Bolton 0. On-loan striker Joe was a misfit at Manchester City, but a match winner here on his debut for Everton. He won the penalty that the game's other outstanding performer, Mikel Arteta, dispatched to give the home side a half-time lead. Everton had dominated the opening 45 minutes, Cahill and Joe wasting clear openings. The Brazilian controlled beautifully and fired past Bolton keeper Jääskeläinen for Everton's second. Bolton, another club who've got more than an eye on the relegation zone behind them, threatened only sporadically. Joe scored his second from the spot late on after Mark Davis handled to complete a dream debut. Everton 3, Bolton 0.
Let's go to the Hawthorns, where Newcastle United have got their first win in 7, only their second win in 16 away from home. And if he's anywhere near a television screen, best wishes to Joe Kinnear, who was taken to hospital as a precaution, is having a scan, and we hope for better news on his health later in the day. In the meantime, let's hear from Ivan Gaskell on Newcastle's win at bottom of the table, West Bromwich Albion.
Yes, West Brom 2, Newcastle 3. A first-half comedy of errors from West Brom, only Tony Mowbray and co weren't laughing. Hapless defensive characters, Messrs Barnett and Mate, fluffing their lines badly here. Duff, Lovenkrands and Taylor could hardly believe their luck. Talking of which, Fortune at least was following Tony Mowbray's script. He poached goals early and late for West Brom, but really it was nowhere near enough. A worrying lapse by West Brom. Encouragement for Newcastle, who, as you say, their manager Joe Kinnear lay in hospital for the day after being taken ill overnight. As you say, our good wishes to him. At the Hawthorns it finished West Brom 2, Newcastle 3.
And here's the story of the Wigan-Fulham game from Andrew James.
Yep, Wigan 0, Fulham 0, Ray, the final score. Poor game in the end after a bright start, especially by Fulham, who came with a game plan and would not have been embarrassed had they won the match. The chances came and went for both sides. Fulham had the best of them. And Wigan, who made 3 changes before half-time, they must improve after losing a handful of key players in the transfer window. Wigan 0, Fulham 0.
Second bottom, Bournemouth have beaten Shrewsbury in League 2 as they try to move away from the relegation places. Bournemouth 1, Shrewsbury 0. Final whistle as well in the Birmingham-Burnley game, 1-1 at St Andrews. Hearing news of a goal late in the game at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland against Stoke. Steve Sutton.
Yes, Ray, it's Sunderland 2, Stoke City 0, deep into added on time. Kenwyne Jones surging into the box, put the ball across the box to substitute David Healy at the far post, and he side-footed it calmly into the net. Surely game over. Sunderland 2, Stoke City 0.
Well, Sunderland 7 out of 9, making progress away from the relegation places, Garth. And Stoke's away form, well, it's gone to form.
The problem comes is when once everything gets sent off and you go 1-0 down, because of 10 men, you've got to try and chase the game to get something out of it. And invariably, Kenwyne Jones, to be fair, does well again on the edge of the box, turns his defender, puts the ball across the 6-yard box, and Sunderland convert. But the problem comes with lack of discipline in the Stoke team, getting sent off when they can't afford it.
Final whistle has gone at the Stadium of Light. Stoke architects of their own downfall, perhaps. And let's get the story of the game.
Well, Ray, not the best football you'll ever see, but certainly action-packed. Sunderland 2, Stoke City 0. Sunderland broke the deadlock just before 80 minutes. Kenwyne Jones with a header, David Healy deep in injury time, but Stoke had Etherington sent off and Fuller taken to hospital. But 3 points for Sunderland, they've won 2-0.
A late drama in the Championship match at the Ricoh Arena, where the leaders Wolves are playing. Steve Lee reporting.
Yes, it's certainly drama. Coventry leading 2-1. We're deep into stoppage time and Wolves have a penalty. Sylvan Ebanks-Blake, who got a hat-trick in midweek, his first career hat-trick, was fouled in the box. He's now stepping up to take the penalty into the end, populated by 5,000 travelling Wolves fans. So Ebanks-Blake placing the ball on the spot. Keeper Kieran Westwood trying to do his best to distract him, but Ebanks-Blake now steps up. He's now running forward, and it's been saved on the line by Westwood. Absolutely remarkable save. It seemed as though it was through him, but Westwood has emerged with the ball, and the Wolves fans can't believe it. It's Coventry 2, Wolves 1.
It's a bad afternoon for the Championship leaders, it would appear. Celtic against Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup. Ian Turner.
Celtic 2, Queen's Park 1, and with Rangers next up in the league, Celtic did what they had to do today and made it through to the next round of the Cup, but only by the skin of their teeth. Queen's Park did themselves proud with an excellent performance, which in the end wasn't quite enough to earn them a replay. Headed goals from Caldwell and MacDonald had Celtic 2 up at the break, but Spiders substitute Adam Coakley, who was later sent off, ensured a nervy finish when he beat Boric from 10 yards midway through the second half. Celtic through, just. Celtic 2, Queen's Park 1.
Let's hear about the Hearts-Falkirk tie. Brian McLaughlin.
It's Hearts 0, Falkirk 1. All the talk, though, will be about the performance of referee Dougie McDonald. Steve Lovell's goal in the hour mark, allowed to stand despite looking yards offside. Then when he awarded Hearts a penalty, he changed his mind after consulting with the linesman. A corner instead was his decision. One decision he did get correct, though, was a red card for Marius Zalewskis for a punch in Carol Finnegan. Falkirk through to the next round of the Cup. It's Hearts 0, Falkirk 1.
Wolves' lead at the top of the Championship has been cut. Back to Steve Lee.
Yes, it's finished. Coventry 2, Wolves 1, and keeper Kieran Westwood, the hero for the Sky Blues. He's done a lap of honour at the end after saving a stoppage time penalty from Sylvan Ebanks-Blake to give victory for Coventry. Wolves now with 1 league win in 8. They'd fought back. Sam Vokes equalised. Michael Doyle's first half goal. Leon McKenzie got the winner, but it's 2-1 to Coventry at the finish.
Our manager Mick McCarthy's 50th birthday. Confirmation of all today's results is on the way now. From 2:30 every Saturday we follow the progress of all today's football matches via the red button. At 4:30 either BBC One or BBC Two viewers join the programme as the games move towards the final whistles, and it's the updated league tables and post-match reaction after 5 o'clock. Time now to hand over to Tim Gudgin to confirm today's final scores.
And first, the Barclays Premier League. Blackburn Rovers 0, Aston Villa 2. Chelsea 0, Hull City 0. Everton 3, Bolton Wanderers 0. Manchester City 1, Middlesbrough 0. Portsmouth and Liverpool kick off at 5:30. Sunderland 2, Stoke City 0. West Bromwich Albion 2, Newcastle United 3. Wigan Athletic 0, Fulham 0. And in the Championship, Barnsley's match with Crystal Palace postponed because of weather. That applies to quite a lot of others too. Birmingham City 1, Burnley 1. Blackpool 2, Doncaster Rovers 3. Charlton Athletics match with Cardiff City postponed. Coventry City 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Norwich City 1, Bristol City 2. Nottingham Forest 2, Queen's Park Rangers 2. Plymouth Argyle 0, Derby County 3. Reading 0, Preston North End 0. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Swansea City 3, Ipswich Town 0, and Watford's match with Southampton postponed. And a lot of postponements in the Coca-Cola League One, including Bristol Rovers and Huddersfield Town, Colchester United and Stockport County, Hartlepool United 2, Walsall 2, Hereford United and Brighton and Hove Albion postponed, Leicester City and Oldham Athletic kick off at 5:20. Milton Keynes, Crewe Alexandra, Peterborough United, Carlisle United, Scunthorpe United, Cheltenham Town, Swindon Town and Southend United all postponed. Tranmere Rovers 0, Leyton Orient 0, and Yeovil Town and Northampton Town postponed. League 2, Accrington Stanley and Luton Town, Barnet and Rotherham United postponed. Bournemouth 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. Brentford 3, Chester City 0. Bury 2, Dagenham and Redbridge 2. Chesterfield and Lincoln City, Darlington and Wycombe Wanderers postponed. Gillingham 0, Bradford City 2, Grimsby Town 2, Exeter City 2, and Macclesfield Town, Notts County, Port Vale, Aldershot Town, Rochdale and Morecambe, all 3 postponed. In the Blue Square Premier, a lot of postponements there. Altrincham, Eastbourne Borough, Barrow, Torquay United, Burton Albion, Rushden and Diamonds, Grays Athletic, Crawley Town, Histon and Weymouth, Kettering Town, Roxford United, all postponed. Lewis 0, Wrexham 2, Mansfield Town 1, York City 2. And the last 2 in the list, Salisbury City and Woking, Stevenage Borough and Forest Green Rovers, both postponed. In the Scottish Cup, Aberdeen's match with East Fife and Airdries with Dunfermline Athletic, both postponed. Celtic 2, Queen's Park 1. Hamilton Academical 2, Dundee United 1. Hearts 0, Falkirk 1. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2, Kilmarnock 0. Motherwell 1, St Mirren 1.
Thanks, Tim. And on this weather hit Saturday, football-wise that is, the updated league tables are on the way, plus the thoughts of Steve Claridge, Martin Keown and Garth Crooks on the top football stories of the day. And here's the Barclays Premier League table. Neither of the top two in action yet this weekend. Aston Villa seized the opportunity to move into third place. Martin O'Neill's side now level on points to Liverpool, just 2 points off top stop. Chelsea slipped to fourth after dropping points at home to Hull. Everton consolidate their sixth position and are now just 3 points behind Arsenal. Bad day for the bottom four, who all lost this afternoon. Bottom club West Bromwich Albion suffered a home defeat to fellow strugglers Newcastle. Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Stoke also beaten to lose ground on their relegation rivals. Portsmouth and Tottenham yet to play. Newcastle are today's big winners in the bottom half, up 2 places to 13th with their first win in 6 league matches. Let's sprint through the other tables. Will boss Mick McCarthy was sent to Coventry's 50th birthday and his side lost 2-1 and they missed a late penalty, but neither Reading or Birmingham could take advantage. The Royals drew with Preston, Birmingham held by Burnley. The bottom four all saw their matches postponed. Let's take a look at League One. The leaders Leicester kick off against Oldham in a few minutes' time and win would send them 13 points clear of MK Dons. And at the bottom, Orient's draw at Tranmere, not enough to take them out of the relegation zone. Let's take a quick look at League Two. Wycombe's game at Darlington was one of 7 games that fell victim to the weather. They're now just a point clear of Brentford after the Bees defeated Chester. Third place Bury drew 2-2. And at the bottom, Bournemouth boosted their survival hopes with victory against Shrewsbury. The Cherries are now 7 points from safety after Grimsby's draw with Exeter. Quite an afternoon, Garth. Aston Villa, we keep saying, look like they're the real deal.
Well, just to put it in perspective, we know that now they're joint on points with Liverpool. If Villa can keep their cool, forget getting the top 4, they could actually start challenging, listen to this, to the Premiership title. They've got Chelsea on the 21st of the 2nd, they've got United on the 4th of May, and they've got Liverpool on the 22nd of March. So they're playing 2 of the top clubs. If they would take points from those teams, it gets very, very serious at Villa Park.
Aston Villa flying, Chelsea rocking. You don't know what you're doing, the Chelsea fans were chanting at the bridge this afternoon as they dropped points to Hull.
Yeah, you know, difficult afternoon again for Chelsea. So much possession. Their ball retention's fantastic, but final third, there's a real problem in that team. Drogba coming off the bench. His body language again wasn't very convincing, and Chelsea now really are struggling at the moment.
And we should say best wishes to Joe Kinnear, the Newcastle manager, who was taken to hospital as a precaution. But his side, there was something about like a calamity of errors defensively. But that's a big win for Newcastle away at West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, we're starting to see a bit of a divide now. I mean, we're looking at it just now, me and Martin, and you know, you're going up to 27. All of a sudden, there is a gap developing. If Portsmouth get beat, then you're almost looking at 3 from 5. Which is, is not nice to be in that bottom 5. It's a tough call, but they've done themselves a lot of favours today, Newcastle.
It's time to close here on BBC Two before debate and discussion plus post-match reaction from managers and players as they emerge from their dressing rooms. Press the red button to stay with us here in the Final Score studio. But this is where we say goodbye to BBC Two viewers. Have a good Saturday night. It's bye for now.